Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about the preparation on a real chessboard with no digital interface. So now you are able to understand the Italian-Hungarian defense, following by a 15-move line of a strong preparation. Let's jump right into it. E4, white opens with the king's pawn, controls the center, the f5 and d5 squares, and opens up this long diagonal to the bishop. Which blacks immediately respond with e5, a solid one, contesting the center. White thinks for a bit and proceeds with knight f3, developing the knight towards the center, attacks the e5 pawn. Knight c6 develops the knight and protects the pawn on e5. What will be the plan for white? Will be the Rui Lopez, will be the Italian, many options here. And we see on the board bishop c4, the characteristic move of the Italian game, which attacks the f7 pawn, and this move also prepares to castle. Bishop d7, the main move of the Hungarian defense, very solid one. Develops first the bishop to looking for this diagonal and preventing knight g5 so they cannot make a double attack on the f7 pawn with the bishop and the knight. White plays c3, preparing to strike in the center with the d4 launch. Black goes for knight f6, developing another piece towards the center and attacking the pawn on e4. Now knight g5 doesn't work too, because black can simply castles and defends the pawn on f7 with the rook and the king. d4 on the board, striking in the center and increases the pressure on the e5 pawn. Black thinks for a bit and goes for d6, keeping playing very solid, building up the strong pawn structure. d5, a good move for white, to kick away the knight and gain space on the center of the board. Black knows how to deal with this and simply retreat his knight, looking to d7 next, a flexible square for the knight. Since the position is a little bit close now, it can go either of these directions. Bishop d3, a positional move. If white tries to break with c6, white can respond with c4. Knight b7, bringing back the knight into the game, especially after having retreated with the knight last move. White develops another piece and controls this diagonal, in particular the c5 square, with this move bishop e3. Black simply puts his king on safety and castles it out. White thinks for a bit here and plays h3. First, it secures the g4 square, avoiding the knight to go there and attacking his bishop. c6, trying to break the central pawn structure as we talked before. And c4, a natural response, maintaining this strong pawn structure and also gaining more space on the queen side. Queen to c7, developing another piece to strengthen the pawn structure for the moment, that it could be useful in case of white takes on c6 and building a strong battery on the d file. White finally puts his king on safety and castles it out. This is a well-known theory, guys, already played out hundreds of times before. Knight c5 threatens to get the bishop pair, but for the time being, the knight is really well placed on c5, controlling many important squares on the center of the board. White goes for knight to c3, develops the knight towards the center, increasing its dominance on the central and white squares. Knight takes bishop d3. With this move, white is thinking about to open up the center and enhance the activity of the white bishop and the bishop pair. Queen takes knight d3, and this also connects his rooks, so white can centralize one rook from here, or can also expand the a-pawn with the support of this rook. Black is trying to slowly activating his light square bishop this way, following by a6 and b5 break, supported by one rook on b8. Rook f2 c1, deciding to centralize the f rook on the c-file, keeping an eye on the black's queen. h6, avoiding the bishop to go there and pinning the knight on f6, but most importantly is creating luft for his king and preparing for the battle on the middle game. This is also kind of an waiting move to see where the white goes for the attack. a4, white takes a little step forward and decides to expand on the queen side, and it can go even further with the a-pawn. Rook f c8, black decides as well and brings in the cavalry to support the guys. This was a training, instructive and educational content that allows you to learn how to play this strong preparation. By following a 50-move line, you stay focused on that variation from start to finish, avoiding getting lost in excessive nuances. So you reach the end of this line with greater clarity. This preparation is very accurate because most of the moves are theory, the well-known moves played hundreds of times before, and then a few moves suggested by the computer. This content is important to you, not only to know the moves of this variant and memorize them, but to understand the line and the ideas behind. So the challenge for you to learn and improve is this great opportunity to follow these 4 steps. Comment your thoughts below. Suggest a new opening for me to do another strong preparation for you. Oh, and just subscribe to be part of this community. There is a lot of high quality preparation coming your way. A huge and sincere thank you to you.